Millions of people wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. They meditate, they journal, they cold plunge, they grind, and most of them are exhausted, unproductive, and wondering why it isn't working. What if the entire productivity movement got it wrong? What if waking up early, for you, is actively destroying your performance? The science is clear, and it has nothing to do with discipline, motivation, or mindset. It's written in your DNA. Here's the problem. The 5 a.m. movement was built on anecdotes. CEOs, athletes, and self-help gurus who happened to be early risers assumed their schedule was the reason for their success. Then they sold you that story. And it worked, because discipline sounds appealing. But here's what they never told you. Roughly 40% of the population are genetically wired to be night owls. Another 30% are true morning types. The rest fall somewhere in between. And none of this is a choice. It is controlled by a cluster of genes called your chronotype. When a night owl forces themselves to wake at 5 a.m., their cortisol doesn't spike the way a morning person's does. Their body temperature doesn't rise on cue. Their cognitive function is measurably impaired for hours. They are not just tired, they are biologically operating below their capacity. The science, chronotype. So what is a chronotype, and why does it control everything? Your chronotype is your body's natural preference for sleeping and waking. And it is driven by the clock gene system, a set of genes that regulate your circadian rhythm. This isn't metaphorical. Researchers at Ludwig Maximilians University studied over 500,000 people and found that chronotype is 54% heritable. More than half of your sleep timing is determined before you are born. Dr. Till Roenneberg, one of the world's leading chronobiologists, coined the term social jet lag, the chronic mismatch between your biological clock and society's schedule. For night owls forced to wake early, every single morning is the equivalent of flying from New York to London overnight, and then immediately going to work. The consequences are not minor. Chronic social jet lag is linked to higher rates of obesity, depression, cardiovascular disease, and reduced cognitive performance. You are not lazy. You are misaligned. And there is a profound difference. So what actually works? 3 science-backed principles that replace the 5 a.m. myth. Principle 1. Find your peak performance window. Every chronotype has a 2 to 4 hour window each day where cognitive function, working memory, and executive performance are at their absolute highest. For morning types, this is roughly 9 a.m. to noon. For intermediate types, late morning to early afternoon. For night owls, it can be as late as 8 p.m. to midnight. Your only job is to find your window and protect it like your most valuable asset. No meetings, no emails, no social media, only deep work. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that aligning your most cognitively demanding tasks with your peak biological window increases output quality by up to 20%. Principle 2. Anchor your wake time, not your alarm time. The mistake most people make is trying to force an earlier bedtime and wake time overnight. This fails because your circadian rhythm shifts gradually, roughly 15 to 30 minutes per day. Instead, shift your schedule incrementally. Move your alarm 15 minutes earlier each week. Simultaneously, expose yourself to bright natural light within 10 minutes of waking. Light is the single most powerful input to your circadian clock. More powerful than caffeine, more powerful than melatonin. Andrew Huberman's research at Stanford shows that morning light exposure, even on cloudy days, sets a cortisol pulse that improves mood, focus, and energy for the next 12 to 16 hours. This works regardless of your chronotype. It is biology, not motivation. Principle 3. Design your environment, not your willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. It depletes. And relying on it to wake at 5 a.m. every day for years is a strategy that statistically fails. Instead, remove the friction, Put your phone charger outside the bedroom so you are physically forced to get up to turn off the alarm. Set your coffee maker on a timer so the smell of coffee is waiting for you. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Every second of friction you remove lowers the activation energy required to start your morning. This is called environmental design, and behavioral science consistently shows it outperforms motivation and self-discipline by a factor of 3 to 1. Stop trying to be a morning person if biology didn't make you one. Find your peak window, anchor it with light, design your environment. That is what actually works.